Hey there, you found it over to Get Going Fast. Welcome. I am so very happy to have you here today because we're going to teach you some good stuff, get you going quickly with the AI stuff, and in a manner that you might actually learn something that's kind of understandable. You know, that's what I always like, is walking away from something and being like, I feel a little bit smarter. And I'm telling you, I know you're a smart person, so I think you're going to enjoy the stuff we got looking at today. So we're going to be looking at something. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It's either Searge or Sarge, but it's probably named after the feller that made it. It's quite a very cool app here. Let's switch on over to it here. This guy here, Sarge DP, all hail to him. He's done a fantastic job and has made this LLM Flux creator for ComfyUI. So in other words, what it does is this workflow, you're able to throw in a very simple prompt into here, and it actually creates a very large prompt, a very proficient prompt, so that you can come out with fantastic Flux models. This is all stuff that I put in as easy as a dog with wings flying above the city with music notes, and it expands it out. Okay, so you can see, and then it uses the Flux model to really do stuff. So he's really optimized this. You can really get some incredible stuff going on with this. So I'm very pleased with this. It uses an LLM model. You just type it in here, it puts it in here, and it outputs to there. Very cool stuff. So all glory to this guy. We're going to look at how to install this. It's very simple install, actually. It's going to go with our ComfyUI. So whether you have the manual or whether you have the portable, we're going to look through it. Again, I always suggest use the manual just because I like building your own lightsaber. Okay, that's kind of what it's like. It's like building your own stuff. You know how it works. You know where things go. It's a good tool. But I'm also going to show you how to use the portable one as well, because that's how committed to getting you going fast that I am. So we're going to jump into that. But before we do, I do want to thank you for liking the channel, sharing the video, telling your friends about it, going over to that fella, you know, you've not liked for a long time, and just be like, I got something to tell you. You know, you ever get going fast? You ever heard of this guy over here? And, you know, maybe it's going to build some bridges over there. Maybe he's going to punch you in the nose. Who knows? But you know what? AI is worth the risk here when it comes to getting punched in the nose, because we're having a great time. It's good stuff. So anyway, we're going to move on here. I do want to tell you about a new song that I have released. It's over here. It's called My Self-Driving Truck Drove Away, and it's about a cowboy whose truck leaves him. So very good stuff here. I'll play you a little bit of this.
She left me in the dust, took off down the road, didn't even glance back, didn't even slow. Guess AI's got dreams just like you and me. Now my truck's chasing sunsets, wild and free.
So there you have it, right? You know, that's the whole joke. If you play a country song backwards, you get back your woman, you get back your truck, your dog comes home, you know, all that good stuff. So great music. Appreciate you checking that out. That is for sale over on my Bandcamp there, as well as this will be streaming soon. And good stuff. I love making music, and I think you guys probably like good music too. So anyway, with that, we're going to move forward, get on to Surge or Sarge, LLM, ComfyUI, and making some great stuff, because, yo, what else is there to do but make great stuff? Hang in there. Alrighty, so as our usual agreement, we're going to click on over to the browser here, and this is the page we're going to be looking for against this Sarge fella here. So what we're going to do is we're going to type Sarge ComfyUI, and then we're going to type in GitHub, because that just helps it to find it. And you're going to see it here, Sarge DP ComfyUI, Sarge LLM. Click on it. Again, hey, Sarge, if you're watching, excellent job. Good job. Namaskaran. Okay, so we look down here, and this we can see is a straight up ComfyUI node. So if we've played around with anything before, you know that this is going to go into your custom nodes folder. This is the beauty of like learning this stuff, doing this stuff. You start to just kind of know where stuff goes over time. So we are going to end up downloading this, but not just yet. And actually, the instructions don't actually tell us to download it. So that's one of those things that you've got to just figure out that you need, okay? And I'm here to tell you that we're going to need to download it. But let's take a look. It's a prompt generator, prompt improvement node. And that's really the key. It's a prompt improvement node. For ComfyUI, utilizes the power of a language model to turn a provided text to image prompt into a more detailed and improved prompt. Okay, so again, like you're over, I'm over here, and it's just like all I'm typing is a dog, a super dog in a cape fighting a villain cat, wearing green, and then it expands it out to like a whole paragraph, and it makes this. Okay, so and then of course you can play around with that with all this stuff. Same thing, beautiful imagery, and because it is using the Flux model, it's making great stuff. So anyway, that's what it is. When you do load it up, we'll eventually load it up. It's going to have this here. You'll see here, a psychedelic animal frozen in a jar on a wooden table, sci-fi, wide angle. And that's actually the prompt that makes this. And if you run that, you're going to find that it actually consistently makes stuff like this. It's very cool. This is a great program. It's about 6 months old, you can see, but sometimes these things, they don't get updated because they don't need to. You've reached a point and they're done. They're good. So this is kind of one of those things that it's just excellent. I think this is really good. So we're going to look here, and you're going to see that we're going to end up installing a language model. So basically we're installing a chatbot. Okay, we can see in here we're going to have to create a folder. Now you can look at here, we're going to be using Mistral 7B, and you can see over here that we're using a quant 4. So he's actually made it pretty easy. Again, quants have to do with cutting off precision off of something. So let's say I have a model and it takes this much space to store, but my computer doesn't have that much space. So I just say, well, let's cut off some of the decimals and we'll make it this big. Okay, and then, hey, my computer can run this. So it's a little less precise, okay, but it's still basically the same thing, right? It's like taking a number, 9.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I cut it down to 9.1, 2, 3, 4. And it's still basically the same number, but it's we've dropped off some of the decimal points and effectively made it smaller to use. So that's what he's doing here. He's using a quant 4, which is a pretty small quant. You're going to see it's going to take about 4 gigabytes, 4 1/3 gigabyte to download, and he's given us the place to download it. So very easy to do, okay? And there are some things that we're going to have to do to get this running down here. This potential problems here. Now, I ran into the potential problem every time I've ran it, but it's fairly easy to do. There is a little bit of detail that we're going to look at here, because there's some stuff that will change that we'll get to here, and you might have to change back and forth depending on your computer system, okay? So, but don't you worry, I'm here. I'm not going to hold your hand because, hey, that's kind of weird, but I am going to walk this through with you. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just tell you straight up, when you're dealing with a Comfy node, what you have to do is you have to clone it into your custom nodes folder. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to copy the address. So it's this github.com. I'm going to go up here, I can hit Control X or Control C, whichever. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on over to my file explorer here. Okay. And let's see why that didn't pop up. It didn't pop up because I minimized it. So let's pop that up really quick. My apologies. Okay, so we're going to go on over here to our ComfyUI install. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead. I've got 2 Comfy installs. I got Comfy manual, and I got I call this the Comfy P. This is my Comfy portable. Okay, so we're going to do it in the Comfy manual first. So click into here. Now you come into here, and this is always your main folder. Whether you're using your Comfy P, you're going to have a ComfyUI folder, or whether you're using your manual Comfy, you're going to have a ComfyUI folder. So this is where we're going to go in to install our nodes, okay? Now I've got some other stuff in here. This has to do with the Get Going Fast installer, which we can talk about later, but basically it's just click it and it's going to do everything that we do here if you don't want to follow the process. But we're going to follow the process because So let's go into our ComfyUI folder, and then you're going to see up here it says custom nodes. So we click that. Okay, now I've already got mine in here, you can see, but what you do is you just click up at the top here. Let me see if I can make this show it for you. Okay, and now you're going to see up here we've got the address. So if you just click up in here, it'll either highlight it or it'll make it disappear. So you go like that, just delete it, okay? Hit the backspace, and then just type git clone. So this is kind of like we're doing it in the terminal, okay? But we're just doing it here. This is the easy, fast way to do it, okay? So we're going to go git clone. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control V, and that pastes that bad boy right into there. So you can see we're telling git application. We're saying, hey, git. No, don't git, but we're talking to the application. We're saying, hey, you application whose name is git, I want you to clone something. And what I want you to clone is this address. And you know that whenever we git clone something, it always takes the last part of it and it turns it into a folder, just like you're going to see here. So we can go git clone, hit that, and then it's going to go ahead and it'll download it. So there you have it into your folder where it's supposed to be. Okay, so now if we plop on back over to our browser, okay, we're going to see that our next directions here, we're just going to follow through the directions. It says create a new folder called LLM GGUF. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up downloading a chatbot model, and we're going to download it in what's called a GGUF format. So a lot of times, if you work with chatbots, you might find stuff that's in a safe tensor mode, and it has all the weights and it has all the everythings that you need. A GGUF model, what it does is it combines all of those into one model, so all you need is one file instead of 10 files. That's pretty much all I use is GGUF models. Okay, so if you're getting into chatbots, I'm going to tell you just go GGUF. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there that could explain to me maybe why a safe tensor would be better, but GGUF models are awesome, and you can you can get them into different sizes. Remember, cut down some of the stuff, and they just is one file. Okay, anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder in our ComfyUI called GGUF, LLM GGUF, and that's where we're going to end up downloading our thing. And notice it says in the ComfyUI models folder. So let's pop back over to the File Explorer like this. Now you can see up here that we are in our ComfyUI folder, but then we're in custom nodes. Let's just click here. Okay, she's going to take us back one. Okay, so now we could click to go back into custom nodes, but why would we? We just got out of it. So instead, we're going to click here on it says models. Now you can see mine already says LLM GUF. What you will do is you will right click. Let me do this real quick. You will go like this. Where did that go? Okay. You will simply right click and you'll go new folder, and then you'll call it you'll just hit Control V here or whatever. LLM, you should have copied LLM _ GGUF. Boy, that was messy. Let's try that again. You right click, go new folder, and then you type LLM _ GGUF. Okay. Now mine won't work because I've already got a folder, but yours will go ahead and create the folder. Okay, now that we've bumbled our way through that, let's go back to our browser, and it says now we have to download the file Mistral 7B instruct version 3 quant 4. That's what that Q means. KMGGUF. So download the link to the GGUF model. So what we're going to do is click on this thing here, and it's going to, let's go back to this again, and it's going to go ahead and bring up this, okay, to save it. So from here, go find where you have installed your ComfyP, or your Comfy, not your ComfyP, your ComfyUI. Go into your models. Now you find the new folder LLM GGUF and just hit save. Now I've already saved mine, okay, but you'll save and take a little bit of time because it's a big file, and then that one's gonna be done. Okay, so now going back here, We'll see. Currently, the node requires the language model as a GGF file. Okay, and only supports models that are supported by Llama CPP. Okay, so in other words, you can use other models in here as well if you don't like this. I will tell you that the model that they chose is a semi-uncensored model. So if you are doing not safe for work stuff, if you type something in there that's, you know, risque, it might say like, this is not I mean, it'll give the prompt, but as part of the prompt it'll be like, this is an image of blah 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 blah, which might not be suitable for people, blah blah blah. So what you can do is you can do something like this. If you want to find a better model that's a little uncensored, you can go ahead up here, copy this, okay, and then what you can do is rock on over to Hug and Face. And I gotta log in. Hold on here real quick. I just reset my machine, so I'm not logged in. Okay, so now what you can do is you can type that in there, and you'll see it'll bring up a whole bunch of them here. If you click down here, see all model results, it'll be a bunch. And then you can find one in here that is a little bit more uncensored. So there was one in here. It's not showing the name of the guy, Mr. Merchander or something like that. He typically does stuff, but anyways, you can play around with this and figure out a different model if you're not happy with this model. But I'm happy with this model, and I will tell you that regardless, Flux does not really do not safe for work stuff. So even if you got something that you could prompt it to be, you know, Flux isn't going to do it. So unless you get a LoRa. Okay, so you can get not safe for work LoRas, and so then you can get your stuff with Flux, but that's for another thing. But anyway, if you want to do it, you'll figure it out. Okay, we're doing good with what we got here, so we're gonna have downloaded that. Now it doesn't say in here, but we have to install the requirements. Okay, and also down here we've got these potential problems. So let's go ahead and pop over to our File Explorer. And what we're going to do is click over here to where it says our ComfyUI folder. Okay, now let's go back into our custom nodes. There's a ComfyUI Searge LLM. Now notice there's a requirements.txt. Okay, what we're going to do is right click and click on Open in Terminal, and it's going to pop up this. Okay. And notice it popped us into the folder here. Now, if you popped into something that says PowerShell up here, you need to right-click on your, you need to do this. If it says PowerShell instead of Command Prompt, you need to right-click, go to Settings, and then over here you need to change this. See, from Windows PowerShell, you need to change it to Command Prompt, and then you'll save it, and then close it out, okay? That's a common thing. It comes default like that, so you need to change that. Okay, anyway, here we are. So now what we need to do is we need to activate our virtual environment. So I don't want to, our virtual environment is all the way back here in this folder. Okay, so it's 2 folders back. I don't want to go back there and then type all this nonsense in again. So what we're going to do is we're going to use an easy way of going back. We're going to go call. Normally, if we were activating our virtual environment, we would do this. We would say call venv scripts activate. Okay, but if we hit it, it's not going to be there because that venv folder is over here in our ComfyUI folder. And remember, this is for the manual, not the portable. Okay, this is if you've been doing your manual thing and you've been working with us, or you've used the free manual installer from the getgoingfast.pro page. It's here in the ComfyUI. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hit this up arrow, and I'm going to say I still want that Vin folder, but I want to go back to folder. So I'm going to go ... and I'm going to put that. So that means go back 1 folder. That'll put us into the custom nodes. But I'm going to put another ... Now that's going to put us in ComfyUI. So now it says call back 2 folders and then go in. So I'm going to hit this, and hey, yo, look at that. All of a sudden, we're in the Vim folder. What up, what up, what up? So our virtual environment folder now we can install into. So let's go like this. Pip, all right, so pip, of course, is our Python package installer. And we're going to go we're not going to type install. We type pip install. So we're saying we want pip to install something, but we want it to install from a file. So we're going to put -r. And then what's the name of the file we want to do it from? Well, of course, it's requirements.txt. So we're going to go like this. And it's going to go in there. It's going to download everything. Be nice if it had music. You know, and keep you busy, but it doesn't. So notice it's going to download all of the stuff that we need. Okay. So actually, what we can do here after you do this is you can try to load it up. And I probably should have done a clean install for you, but what will probably happen is you'll get up there and you won't find the nodes, okay? Like you'll load up the workflow and the nodes will not work, okay? So let's walk through what this looks like really quickly, okay? I'm gonna keep this open because we're gonna come back to this virtual environment, but let's go back over to our browser, okay? Let's go to our ComfyUI folder and let's go ahead and run ComfyUI. So effectively now it's installed. So if you click on run ComfyUI, it should actually load up. Okay, so you just load it like normal. And then what it does is it's going to look in that custom nodes and it's going to see that it's got extra stuff. That's why it's kind of taking a little bit of time. And there it goes. Okay. Good Lord. Okay, come on. I'm going to count to 3, and if it's not done, I'm going to hit the pause button. 3, 2, 1, 1.5, 1 3/4. Oh, look at that, 0. Okay, made it just in time. So you can see that it's got it there. So what I'll do is I'll just left click, pop that open. That's going to open up to our browser. Okay, so notice this. Mine says Searge, let me hit reset. Searge output node, Searge LLM node missing. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool because I wanted to show you what you have to do in case you get this. So that's not a big deal. The instructions over here actually talk about that, and this is the potential problem. If you get an error message about missing llama.cpp, which it doesn't straight out say that it's a missing llama.cpp, but if you do this, if you pop over to here and scroll up, you'll see that the errors up in here have to do with llama.cpp. So that's kind of your guess. But I'm saving you time from having to figure this out because who's going to figure... Good Lord, I just about choked. Who's going to figure that out? So anyway, this is the problem that he's talking about. Okay, so we'll hit browser, go back to here. So it says, if you get this error message, these structures are assuming that you're using the portable version. Okay, which we're not. Okay. What we're going to do is, it just says that if you are using the manual, you can try manually installing Llama CPP in the Python environment. To do that, and it just says to open up your venv, your ven directory. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, okay? But I'm going to show you something that's going on here. We're going to copy this. This is basically going to replace the requirements.txt that we were using. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Let's close this. And let's go back to our, there we go. Let's go back to this one. And I'm going to just go ahead and type CLS to clear my screen. So CLS stands for clear screen. Now, we're in our Vin folder, so whatever we pip install is going to go into our virtual environment. So I'm going to do this in here, but I want to show you here. What we're doing is we're calling Python. We're saying use the Python. When you do this -m pip, it's saying use the Python that is attached to the virtual environment we're in. Okay, so that's cool. And we're going to install from this folder this file. So it's basically saying go to this website all the way down here and find this file, llama cpp python 0.289 plus CPUA vx2 plus, here's the part we're going to look at, cp311. That means Python 311. I'm running Python 310. So if I hit this, I'll show you, it ain't going to work. It'll try downloading it, but then it's going to throw errors. Okay, see, it's not a supported wheel because this is for Python 311. All right. Is there something else on here that we need to change? Okay, no. So what we're going to do is hit up. What I'm going to do, I'm running 3.10. And if you're working with get going fast stuff, you will have 3.10 as well. Okay, I'll show you how to check that, but I'm just going to change those numbers. Notice I changed the 11 to 310. Now if I hit that bad boy, hey, oh, look at that. It installs it down there. Okay, so I just had to change that to the correct one. Now I'm going to show you something. You can I'm going to hit CLS again. If you don't know what version you have, you can type Python --version, and it will bring up this and tell you which one you have. So if you have 3.11, just use it. If you got 3.10, use it. If you got 3.12, take this hand and hit yourself across the face with it, because you shouldn't have 3.12 because it's going to break all your other stuff. Okay, so 3.10 or 3.11. We've now installed this, so let's pop back over and look. It's got one more for us over here. It has this one. Notice this one's got a 3.11 too, but hey-oh, it's got some other stuff here that I'll show you. So let's copy this, pop this bad boy on over to Yo, and here we go. So going back into here, we'll do the same thing. I'm going to clear my screen. Now, same thing, we're calling Python. We're saying, hey, Python, use this pip, use your pip thing as an app, you know, and install from here. But this time it's going, it wants this file, llama cpp python CUDA. Oh, hey, it says CUDA. Let's pay attention to this. 121. It wants a CUDA 12. If you're working with get going fast, okay, you very likely have CUDA 11.8. Okay, so again, this won't work. Okay, and notice here we've got CP311. Okay, it's also a Python 311. So we're going to go through and change some things. We'll change this to 310. And then we're going to go change this 121 to 118. Okay, now it's going to work. If you have CUDA 12, then keep it. Okay, then do CUDA 12. It's fine. Okay, it's just that if you're working with the Get Going Fast.pro page, very likely you have 11.8. So now we hit this. We're still in our virtual environment. So notice it's downloading it. It's pip installing that like the bad mamma jamma that it is. We're going like this. I'm doing an entertaining dance for you just to keep you entertained while it dances. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Okay. Gladiator 2, I guess, is coming out, but the guy's dead, so it's going to be like... Anyway, that was that scene. That was my classic scene from Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Anyway. So, here we have it installed. Now, we've done the fix. Okay, so watch this. Now we're going to pop back over to our File Explorer. Yo it up. And we hit Run ComfyUI. Now, if we pop on over to this, where did it go? There it is. Okay, now it's going to load it up again. This time when she comes, our nodes are going to work. You know what? I don't want to wait for this again, so I'm going to pause it. I'm going to put my finger up here and let's see if I can be in the same position when it starts. Oh, I didn't even get to do it. Look at that. Okay. Or did it? Maybe I paused it and I was so slick. Okay, so let's go back over here and we'll click on this bad boy again. All right, and so it's going to pop up. If it's the first time you've run this, it's going to pop up to whatever last workflow you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on workflow up here, and then we just click open. Okay, now let me pop over here so you can see where we're going. Okay, So it's going to pop up into here. So what you have to do is just go to your ComfyUI folder. You go to your custom nodes. Then you go to your thing that you had loaded, your ComfyUI Sarge. Click there and you're going to see workflow. Click it and then yoing it up. Just click that and now notice it's going to pop up like this. Okay. So that's actually where you get your workflow. I guess we didn't look at this earlier. That's how you get in there. That's how you know if your nodes were incorrect. So now you're going to notice that it needs these folders: Flux 1 Dev FP8. It needs the GGUF model, and it needs this clip. If you click on here, you're going to find that you don't have them, probably, unless you've already downloaded them. So what you're going to either have to do is type them up into here, Flux 1. How do we get this down here so we can see? You could go up here, type Flux 1 Dev FP8 safe tensors, and then you can copy that and then go over to another browser or tab, type it in, and then you could download it like this. Okay, and just straight download it. And you'd have to do the same thing for this other one, T5XLL. You'll see, oh, I actually do have one here. So you'll have to download this as well. Okay, so hold on just 1 second. Okay, so actually now here we're back here. So you download it here, and then I don't have it here. I had a different one opened up there. But you open this up, and same thing. You have to download your T5XXL. Type it. You can download it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and download these, but I'm going to use a little bit of a different thing that I use just because it's a little bit easier than typing it in. So what I'm going to do is go over to my File Explorer, and I'm going to use this Flux Monitor Quant thing that I created. You can get this as a member over at getgoingfast.pro. You can look for the FP8 models over there, installer, and it will have this in here. And what this does is it opens up this thing here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go manage my support files, and it doesn't have any of them, so I'm going to say install files, and it's going to give me the ones that I need. So let's go back and look at what we need here really quick. I need T5XXL. So where are we at? Okay, so this one, I'm going to just press 2. Okay, and that's going to go ahead and download that. It says time left 2 minutes, so I'll go ahead and pause this. This is an easier way to do it because then you don't have to worry about where it goes and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I think, let me see here. Yeah, if we head over here to the browser and we go to the getgoingfast.pro page, you can find this, the Flux GGF Model Manager and ControlNet Installer. So over here, if you're a member, you can go here and download the Flux Manager GGF thing. And that also includes the ControlNet stuff. So that's kind of a cool thing. Members can get that. And then you get this groovy doovy installer, which makes it so much easier for you. Okay, so that's going to be done in just a second. And then what we're going to have to do is we have to download the actual GGUF model itself. Okay, so let's just wait. 3, 2, 1. It's the final countdown. She's done. Okay. Okay, and for our final one here, this Flux one, we'll just go back to where we found it, and let's just click the download, and it's going to pop us up like this once again. Let's go back to here, and then what we got to do is find our way to our ComfyUI folder, okay? And we're just going to click on our models, and then we're going to find this one that says diffusion models. So click there, and that's where we're going to save it. Okay, now that'll take a little bit of time because that's a 16 gigabyte model. So we're going to pause this, and while this downloads, and then we'll be right back. Yo. All right, and so then that gets done downloaded. We can go ahead and run our ComfyUI thing again. Same thing. Just going to click on that, you got to hold down the control button when you click it, and then it's going to pop us up to our ComfyUI folder. So here we go. Now there's our workflow. Okay. Now our things are going to be ready. So now if we go in here and we type a valley girl pirate on a boat full of treasure. She's wearing 80s clothes. And it has big hair. Now, it's going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the Q button. Okay. Oh, notice over here this Flux VA. You got to actually download that as well. I guess we missed that. So that's an easy one to find. Just type it into your Google, download it. So we're going to click on that. Make sure it's there. Now we'll hit Q. And it's going to pop up over here. And what we'll do is it will take a minute to go here. Meanwhile, let me show you how to get that Flux VA going. So same thing, you just go over here, type Flux VAE .safe tensors. Same thing, it's just going to bring you to a Hugging Face. Just download it and then you'll put it in your file explorer over here. Let me show you where that really quick. I closed out some of these folders here a second ago, so I got to reopen them. So if you're getting that VAE, you would go to wherever you installed this stuff. ComfyUI, go to your models, and then you'll have a folder called VAE right there. So you save it into there. Okay, easy peasy. Now let's go back to our browser. Now this is going to take a little. Oh, now look at this. It went ahead and it's already. Let me make sure you can see that. It's already created the new thing. And look, it took my 2 sentences. It says, a fun, lively digital illustration depicts a valley girl pirate on board her treasure-laden boat sailing through sunny seas. The main subject of the image is a 1980s style pirate. So blah, 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 blah. The bottom, look, it's put a parrot on her. So the bottom line is it took my very short thing over here and it turned it into something a lot better. And then, because we've got the Flux models, it's going to go ahead and generate them. So let's see how well it does. So there you go. That's a Valley Girl pirate. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a great photo. Okay, I'm not sure where her leg is over there. So you would play around with it, and you could type photorealistic in there if you wanted. Do whatever you want. But that's a great photo, and it came from just a couple sentences. The hardest thing for me is not that I can't write good prompts, but I don't want to write good prompts. You know, it takes forever. So this is a really nice way of getting what you want. And then of course you can change your width and your height and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's actually a high quality one too there. So so you can play around with this. If you're having a hard time with the Flux stuff, go ahead and make your images smaller. But that is working now. Okay, simple text in here, it goes to over here. You can see that it flows into here, which goes out to here, and and over there. Okay, now what I'm going to show you really quickly is how to do this all in the portable version. Okay, so that we've got this all done. It's going to be the same thing that we did before. Okay, I'm going to click over to our file explorer. Except for this time, we're going into our Comfy P folder. So this is if you've already downloaded it. You'll notice if you do in portable, you'll have this folder that says ComfyUI Windows Portable. So you click it, then there's your ComfyUI. But you'll also have this Python embedded. Inside of here is a packaged Python. So it has its own virtual environment attached to it. You don't use the Vim. Now, we're going to assume that you did everything else the exact same way that we did the other stuff. You went into here, you get cloned into your custom nodes, okay? You went into models, you created LLM GGUF, you downloaded the models, okay? You downloaded this stuff into Diffusion Digest, you downloaded your VAE, okay? You got your clip stuff put into the correct folders. I think it's your UNet folder. So you got it, you use the model manager. Okay, now what we need to do is we go back to our browser, and it says over here, all we got to do, these are assuming using the portable version, open a command line in the directory here, and then run this. So what it's going to have us do is copy the same things we did before, but this time we don't have to activate the virtual environment. Can you actually so let's click back to our file explorer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to ComfyP into here, go into our Python embedded. Now we'll right click, go open in terminal. That's going to open up our command prompt. Okay, notice we're in the Python terminal, the Python embedded. So now we can just paste this in here, and it's going to use the Python that's in this folder. Okay, that's in the embedded. But same thing. Notice that this, you're going to run into something. So I set you up for something here. It's going to say 311. It's not going to work. Or you're going to go, oh well, I have 310, right? That should work. No, it's not. And why is that? That's because Python Portable carries its own Python. And if we watch this, if we type Python version, oh, yo, it's carrying Python 3.12. And if you try to change the numbers of this to 312, it's not going to work. Okay, so I kind of set you up there, my little early April Fool's joke on you. So here's what we got to do. You got to go back to your browser, go back to our Searge page, go up here to where it says issues. Now, notice up here, there's going to be one that says Update Searge LLM Requirements. Okay, so we're going to click on that. And notice someone here has put it in here, download the wheel file for Python 3.12. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll copy this. I think, yeah, we'll copy this. Now if we go back over to our command prompt, now we're making sure we're still in the Python embedded. We're going to hit Control V. Now we don't have to change anything because it's already set up for us. The reason we had to change, hold on, Python. Oh, it's got an error. You got to put a dash. Okay, so okay, that was through an error. So let's actually pop back over to the browser, see what's going on here. Let's do it like this. We're just going to copy this one up here instead. Then we're going to go back over to our command prompt, and we're going to type in Python -m pip install, and then we'll just paste it in there. This one will work. Okay, so I'm not sure what the difference was there, but that's how you're going to do it. So now the reason the other one was using 310 was because it was a manual one, and we created the virtual environment with our system's Python version, which was 310 or maybe 311. Okay, the portable version has its own Python packaged with it, and it's 312. So you have to rely on this other one, and you can't just change the numbers. You go over there and change it. Okay, you do not want 312 for your base system, okay, because it will screw up all the other things. So great, your ComfyUI will work fantastic, but the rest of your stuff won't. So just stick with 312 with it when you're just with your portable, and you don't even have to worry about it. It carries its own seed with it, okay, and it doesn't touch anything else. So now we've gone ahead and installed that. Okay, so again, the reason that worked, we didn't have to activate anything, was because we're in this Python embedded folder. It has its own virtual environment. We use its own pip, everything. It installs it in the correct place. Now, if we go ahead and run it, we'll go ahead and get the same thing that we had before, and it'll actually load up. It'll load up what you had last time. And there's, so whatever you had typed in your stuff before will still be there. So if we go over here to browser, there we go. And same thing. You just open your workflow, go to workflow, open, go to the custom nodes, go to the folder and find workflows. And let's do one more. We'll say a photorealistic image of a Valley Girl pirate swinging from a rope. And let's hit Control Enter, and same thing. We'll sit here for just about a second. It really doesn't matter between the manual and the portable, but we'll sit here for just a moment. I'll actually pause this so you don't have to wait with me again. But what we're waiting for it to do is repopulate this again and then create the image. And there you have it. So notice again, it changed it up here. A stunning photorealistic image showcasing a unique twist on the classic pirate archetype. Okay, and so it goes ahead and it creates it, and there's the image it made. That's awesome. Okay, obviously she's hot, right? She's got those fake boob things going on. Looking cool, right? That was amazing. So you would actually have to do a lot of prompting to get that right, and it'd take a lot of time, but here, go ahead, it did it again. Sarge DP, you are the man. Yo, thank you for doing this. Okay, so that was kind of a lot. If you just want to get going fast, just go over to getgoingfast.pro, and you'll see here you can do a search for Sarge LLM, and you can either get the manual or the portable. Download it, click it. You don't have to do any of that stuff we did. It's going to do it all for you. Okay, you do have to download your models though. So, and this is actually for Prairie Dogs. It's only like $5 membership here, and you get this for free. So. All right, that is the easiest way to get that. Great program. We're going to end it here. This was took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take. But I'm telling you, there's a few apps that I hold on to. I go, I really like this app, or I really like that app. And there's a lot of apps I think are cool, but then I never use them. This is an app I'm going to use because it's good. And again, it adds stuff out. One other thing that you can actually do with this, by the way, is with your HunYuan. Your HunYuan videos. Now, I haven't been able to tie this directly into the HunYuan workflow, but you could throw an easy prompt into here. Just let it run just to get the prompt, then throw it in your HunYuan workflow and make a video, which I've done, and it works great. So we're going to leave her there. As usual, you guys stay good. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm around. Come hit us up on the Discord. Hang out with us. Ask questions, but hang out with us, man. Share your stuff. A lot of people kind of pop in. They're kind of like a little groundhog. You pop up, look around, and then they go back down. Hang out with us. Share the stuff you're working on. Talk with us. We won't bite too hard, and we're pretty fun to hang out with. We like to see what you're working on. But anyways, I'm around. You be good as always. Tell your mother you love her, and treat people good. And we'll see you around on the next side. Yo.